What's up, my peeps? So I ended up picking the winner to join my team for a free WrestleMania 33 card out of Ring Domination or Team Ring Domination through Twitter instead of YouTube, since the original winner on YouTube, GamerJSP, did not respond back. And on Twitter it was a lot easier and quicker as the winner responded right away. So if you don't already follow me on Twitter and you're trying to get into the team for a Team Ring Domination in the future, make sure you follow me on Twitter. Also, update on the Road to Glory. I did go ahead and finish it, got both Matt and Jeff as promised. But anyways, since today is a Team Ring Domination day, I thought it'd be fitting for me to post this video up giving you guys my best tips for Team RD, letting you guys know how to get those shards quicker and easier. I made a tips video for Team Ring Domination over a year ago, but this is an updated one with some things that I didn't mention back then. And also on top of that, the comment section of that video now is filled with spam from people saying, hey, this video is garbage, go check out my hack, my supercard generator called blah blah blah, search it on Google or whatever it is. So yeah, updated version, let's start this. So my first tip is something you can do before it even starts. Before Ring Domination starts, you can do this a couple of minutes before, an hour before, or even the day before if you really want to. And this is going to guarantee yourself a shard right when the mode starts. You're guaranteed to pull a shard if you do this. So one thing Team Ring Domination has in common with Wild Mode is they both share the same board. So let's say you've got 12 cards on your board after playing a couple of Wild Mode matches. You'll also notice that you'll also have 12 cards on the board when it comes to Team Ring Domination. So here comes the strategy, here comes the tip. Before the mode even starts, go ahead, play yourself a couple of Wild Mode matches, pull a couple of cards, and make it so you only leave 4 to 8 cards on the board. And what this will do, now I'm saying 4 to 8 here because it depends on whether or not you're using title matches. If you're gonna be using title matches in Team Ring Domination, then you can leave 8 cards on the board. If you're not gonna be playing with title matches, and then leave 4 cards on the board. And then you'll notice, once you start playing Team Ring Domination, you'll have those exact same cards in the exact same spot there too. So then if you're using title matches, you get 8 pulls. Even more if you get a perfect match. But, let's not assume you're going to get a perfect match because most of the time you won't. So once you win a match, you get 8 pulls right there. So that is a guaranteed shard. Same goes for when you're not using title matches. You left 4 cards on the board. You get 4 pulls out of a win or 4 picks out of a win. So you're also guaranteed a shard right there as well. Now, an issue that some of you might run into is, well, hey, I can't get down to 8 cards on the board or 4 cards on the board without, resetting the board, without pulling a rare or super rare, and that, restarts the whole board and then it fills it up again. That's normal, that's gonna happen. But also, that's why you do it prior to the event starting, because then you've got a ton of time. Hey, you could reset the board at some point, but at some point, you'll be able to get down to 8 or 4 cards and then start Ring Domination, and right away, you'll get a shard right there. Think about it. If every single one of the members on your team do this, within 2 minutes or so, let's say 2 to 5 minutes of the event starting, you'll get 10 shards right off the bat. 10 shards right off the board, and you'll get that card quicker. Now, if you just can't seem to get it down to 4 or 8 cards without resetting the board a ton of times, what you can do is get it down to, let's say you're using title matches, maybe 10 cards on the board, or maybe even 12. And if you're not using title matches, 5 or 6, those are still some good odds of you pulling a shard in Ring Domination. Now, of course, if you don't get it down to 4 or 8, then it's not a guaranteed shard, but it still puts you in a much better position to pull a shard in Team Ring Domination compared to not playing Wild Mode at all to reduce the cards on the board. And once again, the best times to do this are prior to the event and also when you're waiting for bouts. And also, if you use this before the event starts, here's another quick tip. What you can do once you get it down to 4 or 8 cards, you can keep on playing wild matches and just, instead of using your picks, save them. So once the wild match is over, you win the match or you lose the match, just back out of the game, restart the game, play another wild match, and those picks will stack up. You can keep on doing that until the event starts, and then you can find yourself with like 100 picks remaining, and you can use these picks to go ahead and get it down to 4 or 8 whenever you're waiting for bouts, or each time you're waiting for bouts. So that way, every single time a bout pops up, you've got a guaranteed shard waiting for you. Now, tip number 2 is actually really easy and really quick. It actually should have been tip number 1 actually, but whatever. This is something anybody can do, and it'll make the matches in Team Ring Domination easier. And if the matches are easier, then you're more likely to get some perfect matches. And of course, if you get perfect matches, you get more picks, thus more chances at getting shards. And that is switching your female card to a common or uncommon one. You don't use female cards in Team Ring Domination or Ring Domination in general, so there's no point in you having your strongest diva, or it's not diva anymore, your strongest female card on your team deck. All it's gonna do is make your team deck stronger than it needs to be, stronger for no reason, so then the game is gonna match you up against stronger opponents with stronger cards. So instead, replace that with a common or uncommon to face off against weaker opponents for easier matches. And then when it comes to tip number 3, this also involves your team deck. Try and have a good variety of triangles or arrows, whatever you want to call it, when it comes to the entire team deck. So let's say you've got a bunch of people right now with Matt and Jeff Hardy as their cards in their team deck. What you want to do is put in some yellow triangles as well. You want to have some upwards yellow triangles, downwards yellow triangles, right and left blue triangles. You don't want them all to be the same color and direction, because then it's going to make the matches harder. Let's say you've just got some upwards yellow triangles. It's going to be hard to get some cards right below you, because you can't. All you got is up yellow triangles. So try and have, a good mix of all the triangles, or arrows, or alignments, whatever. It's actually alignments if you go by what the game calls it. Now, tip number 4 is match tips. I'm going to combine them all into one. So right off the bat, once the match starts, you want to pick out your weakest card. In my case, it's Dolph Ziggler. And your first move should depend on which cards you've got apart from this weak card. So I've got 2 yellow triangles, 2 right blue triangles, and 1 down yellow triangle. So I want to put Dolph in a position where I can easily get him back and corner him. So I'm going to put him in the top right corner. That way I can easily get him back with a right blue triangle or an up yellow triangle. So the opponent right here went ahead and took my Dolph card with a right blue triangle. That's not a problem, because I planned this out. I can then get Dolph back with one of my up yellow triangles, and that's what I do. Now, in the process, as you can see right here, I blocked off Dolph Ziggler now. He's blocked off by HBK and the opponent's Braun Strowman, and I did that on purpose. This way, the opponent cannot take back Dolph Ziggler. And now you've got a card that's guaranteed to be yours for the rest of the bout, because the opponent can't reach it, he can't take it from you. And that's the advantage of putting your first card in one of the 4 corners of Ring Domination. Just make sure it's your weakest card and you can actually take it back. In my situation, I went ahead and put it in the top right corner because that was best for my situation. I had a bunch of up yellow triangles and a bunch of right blue triangles. If you've got a bunch of down yellow triangles and a bunch of left blue triangles, then go ahead and put it in the bottom left corner. So keep that in mind. Make it so it's easy for you to take back the first card you put in and block it off from the opponent. You take these tips and face off against this team, they won't be able to beat you, but watch out, you have your back turned for too long, then you might just find them 69ing your girl. And whenever you see an opportunity to block off one of the opponent's cards so he can't take it back, go ahead and take it as long as you don't foresee it costing you the match once it's the opponent's turn. And speaking of that, always think ahead. Don't just think about the move you're gonna do now, but think about the consequences, and once you do this, what's the opponent gonna do to counter? Always think about that. The CPU sometimes can be pretty dumb, but at times it's pretty smart, and it's gonna go ahead and block off their own cards. They're gonna put it in a position where they know you can't take it back because you don't have a left blue triangle or a bottom yellow triangle to take that card from it. Now, once you take all these tips, put them into a match, combine them with the luck of the draw and the opponent also messing up, you get something kind of like this. So we started off by putting Dean Ambrose in the top right corner because that's where we can easily take him back. And then we didn't even need to take him back because the opponent went ahead and messed up, put in Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy got beat by the Dean Ambrose card. So now what I did is I still went ahead and blocked Dean Ambrose off because I didn't want the opponent to get a second attempt at getting this Dean Ambrose card. So what I did is I took the other Ambrose card that I had because I still had 2 right blue triangles and he was the weaker one of the 2. So I went ahead and put him right under Dean Ambrose to block him off, and then the opponent challenges Dean Ambrose with Roman Reigns to power and speed match, and guess what? That favors Dean Ambrose. So all of a sudden, I've got 4 cards. The opponent made 2 mistakes right there. He challenged my cards twice, and both times he lost. And then you go ahead and just block off one of the other cards. You can block off, in this case, Dean Ambrose or Roman Reigns. So I decided to go ahead and block off Dean Ambrose with an up yellow triangle because I still had 2. And then he puts Kevin Owens up top. So what I do, I take Kevin Owens and in the process also block him off. And now I'm left with 1 right, 1 blue. I'm guaranteed to take the opponent's last card. He puts it to the left. Well, guess what? I've got a left blue triangle just for that, and I take his Bray Wyatt card, and that is a perfect match, 9-0. So that is pretty much it for the Team Ring Domination tips. I hope these were helpful. If it was, you can click the like button down below if you enjoyed it, if it helped you out, and share it with somebody else that, could use these tips for the next TRD, or actually maybe even this one, because this one's still going on while I'm recording this and once it gets posted up. I'm out, guys. See ya.